Okay, here we go with a quick lesson on place values. You should have downloaded and printed out a place value chart that looks like this one from your resources for this activity. And we're going to fill it in and label it so that you can use it to help you with activities and assignments after this one. So what we're going to do is, last year you had 3 periods in your place value chart, and this year we're adding one more, the billions place. So now we have 4 different periods in our whole number portion of our place value chart. The whole number portion is on the left-hand side of our place value chart, and now we have the 4 of them. And here are the periods listed that you're going to try and label. And then each period is also broken up into 3 parts, our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. And you can use the letters H, T, and O to represent those values within each period. And then the other thing that you need to do for labeling your place value chart is to show the end of the period by placing a comma in the correct place. You should have 3 commas, and then in our last period, you're going to, after the last period, you're going to place a decimal point, and that's going to show the end of our whole numbers and then the beginning of our decimal portion of a number. For this part of the module, we are only working with whole numbers, so we're only going to be working with these first 4 periods. What I want you to do right now is to pause your video and attempt to correctly label your place value chart with these items up here. When you get done and you think you've got it, then press play and we'll check your answers. Okay, so our periods that we're using are the billions, which should be our largest period, and then millions, which we were using last year, then our thousands, and then just units, which is kind of where we like to work the most at the moment. Then each one of these periods is broken up into 3 parts. We have our hundreds, tens, and ones for each period. So we would read these as 100 billions, 10 billions, 1 billion, 100 million, 10 million, 1 million, 100,000, 10,000, 1,000, and then our units of hundreds, tens, and ones. Things that I want you to think about is what's happening to our numbers when we're moving left and right in our place value chart. And then I want you to think about if you see any other patterns in our place value chart. Now I want you, that you fixed your, and you have your place value chart labeled correctly, I want you to enter this number into it. How is this number read? Well, I would read this number as 902 billion 493 million 450,802. The best way to read a number is to just read it as if it was just in the unit spot, and that was all you were looking at. And then at the end, you throw in the period name. We also need to know how to write a number in standard form. Standard form of a number is how we normally write a number with our little commas and things like that. So this is standard form. We also need to be able to write a number in expanded form. And you guys have used this before in 3rd and 4th grade. It's just our numbers are getting bigger. So we take our value, which we have 900 billion. So we would write that as with our 9, and then we place zeros for every other place value until we get down to our 1s. Same with our 2 billion. We have 2 billion, so we're going to place the 2, and then there are zeros for every other place value after the 2. And then we carry that on down until we get to the bottom of our number, down to our 1s. Another thing that we need to think about is these zeros that are sitting in here. What is the purpose of those zeros in the billions and the units periods in this particular number? since we don't have values for those places, like we do not have any 10 billion, we still need to put a 0 or some kind of number in there so that we know that we are skipping that place value. So the zeros in this case, in this number, at the 10 billions and the 1000s, and in our tens place is serving as placeholders for that place value. It just lets us know that we don't have any of those particular units. So what you need to do now is you need to save this place value chart, make sure that it is filled out correctly, and then save it, and you can use it to help you read numbers from in our activities after this, as well as just help you, put them in the right order and know what your periods are.